Hey, I'm Terry. I'm Certified Arborist. And today I found a really cool situation that I want to share actually with other arborists. When I say arborists, I'm not only talking about professional arborists, certified tree risk assessors. I'm talking about anybody. Anybody who's interested in trees. Because actually, if we break down the word arborist, kind of got two parts. Arbor and ist. Arbor is trees. Ist, well, let's think about it. Scientist, biologist, somebody who studies, right? So arborist is somebody who studies trees. And I'll be quite honest with you, that could be any of us. We've all grown up with trees. We've all gone for hikes in the woods. So we're all arborists to some degree. Come on, I'll show you this example. All right, so here's the situation. We got a western red cedar. It's about 32, 33 centimeter DBH, diameter at breadth height, which is 1.4 meters. As you can see, the tree has failed. It's obvious, and it's leaning right over the power lines, like the lines that are coming in from the street to the house. So the fact that action is needed to take away this risk of damage, it's obvious. But what I do notice too is there's something that's not so obvious, and that's to do with the way that the tree, which actually has in fact been dead for quite some time, the tree is interacting with the ecosystem. The tree is interacting with the environment that it's in. Actually, I was talking to another arborist the other day, and it was an interesting discussion about trees, and and the question we asked was, is a tree ever actually dead? And first come to mind, really, yeah, of course, we've seen thousands of dead trees. But the question that came to mind, well, when you see a scenario such as this, the tree is dead, but yet it's still providing a function in the environment, in the landscape. There's still aspects of the tree that are living. It's living tissue. It's living and breathing. It's a home for birds. This tree is full of woodpecker holes. There've been little chickadees and so forth that have been living in that tree for years. So, in terms of the arborist in me, I could see that obviously there's the hazard here. But the next level thinking is that there's stuff I don't know. I'm not an expert on birds, and so I spoke to my friend Cyril. He's a wildlife biologist.
Sure, I'm a wildlife biologist. I was asked to assess the tree, see if there's any resident affiliated woodpeckers on it, and we determined that there isn't, but it is indeed a tree used by various wildlife, chickadees, probably not the hatches. There's also a possibility that bats might sometimes use it as a roost in the summer, and other mammals might include squirrels.
Okay.
So,
Cyril, okay, we've got this dead tree full of woodpecker holes. Do you have any idea what bird or birds we might be dealing with here?
well, looking at the square-shaped excavations here, this is likely the work of affiliated woodpeckers, and they are confirmed to be utilizing this fourth stand. And you can also tell where there's this see that broken snap along the stem there. There's a presence of a cavity. Now that can either be the work of affiliated or a northern picker, but there's also other cavities along the length of this tree here. Exploratory excavation holes. These are more like for forage. The woodpecker was using this as a food tree, but other birds have been observed nesting in the tree, and those would be black-capped chickadees. Other cavity nesting birds include red-breasted nuthatches. And for a woodpecker like affiliated, they can provide a nest cavity that's also suitable for other cavity nesting birds like owls. Many owls are what they call inconspicuously nesting raptors, meaning they basically their nests are inconspicuous because you can't see them because they tend to usually always nest inside cavities.
Is affiliated is it endangered, or is it becoming endangered?
No, its numbers are actually increasing because many of our forests are returning, coming back across North America.
Okay.
So they are basically doing quite well with the maturing secondary forests that are cost.
Do they tend to stick to western red cedar, or do you really see them in Douglas firs or other
Usually
conifers?
the deciduous, mixed deciduous, and conifers, but usually in the east they are more of the deciduous first.
Well, they have more.
But over here on the west coast, they
Like
only
my instinct was, oh, we got to save that top section and maybe stand it up somewhere. That's not your recommendation, is it?
no, because it's already got a weak stem, and it might still be considered a hazard tree. What I would recommend is that it can still have an ecological function as a nurse log.
Okay.
So what the faller can do is basically once they remove that broken top, they can buck the branches off. And they cut it into sections, roughly 4 to 5 feet, and then lay it down on the ground. Where it will just, where nature will take its course, it will just gradually decay and provide habitat for other wildlife. Like
Feed the soil.
Yep. Yeah. They call them nurse log because young trees will sometimes grow on it. And the habitat they provide is that, a lot of small animals, like insects, snails, we like to hide, especially where it's nice and rotted and moist. And if it's moist, it's also good for amphibians. A lot of terrestrial salamanders, like what they call ectotinas, or redback salamanders. Even dogs and turtles, they like to hide under there during summer.
What can arborists or homeowners do when they're not sure if the tree is being occupied by nesting birds or if there's an active bird nest in the tree and they want to remove it?
Well, the migratory bird regulations, which is the federal legislation, protects the birds, and we have the Provincial BC Wildlife Act, Section 34, protects birds, their nests, and the eggs and young. So what we recommend is that they have to wait until the nest is inactive. They have to determine whether or not the nest is active, and that just by looking at the birds' behaviors, are the birds repeatedly returning to the same spot? Are they carrying nest materials? Are they carrying food? Are they acting agitated? Are they giving off warning or alarm calls as they're approaching the nest? Those are telltale signs that the nest is being used, and as well as the fact that some songbirds will be giving territorial singing. Yeah, some birds give territorial calls.
You mentioned. Action. How's my hair?
That's
Never mind, I already know the answer. Not very good. Well, anyway, we're finished. I got a little sign here. What's it say? Wildlife tree saved for food, shelter, and nesting. That one's published by Ministry of Environment, Lands and Parks, Ministry of Forests. Anyway, we're marking this tree that it continues to be important. Of course, the tree has died, but it's still playing a role, an important role in this natural setting. It's like, not only you can't build what you want. You're not videoing this, are you? Like, it's not only you can't do what you want, but